Peace. This is Ethereal TV with your host, Doc Blake, bringing to you the 11th episode of The Last Piece to the Puzzle. The motto for me is silver, gold, and cryptos equals freedom because they are decentralized currencies by the nature of their creation. But let's get into the price action today. Bitcoin is currently at $8,976.87. Litecoin is at $46.38. Ethereum is at $203.75. Gold is at $1,715.97. And silver is at $15.06. So what are we about? What, 5, 6, 7 days away from the Bitcoin halving, man? I can feel the excitement brewing up for those involved in the space. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about it, and I'm excited. But weird things happen when that time comes around. So it should be really interesting. Bitcoin's still trying to break through that 8.9 level. It's been kind of stuck at this level for what, about a week now, or I would say 3 to 4 days at least. And broke through, hit up 9.4, and then back again, kind of did a double top at 9.1, and it's still kind of hovering around there. And I don't know if that's a good thing at this point or a bad thing personally. But let's get into the topic of today. The topic of today is savings. And I wanted to explain and stress the fact how Bitcoin, gold, silver are a form of savings. It's not an investment, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at the history of gold and silver, it technically, by history, it was never an investment. It was actually a monetary currency. And not that I'm saying it's going to become the main monetary currency of the world. I'm saying that it's actually a savings device because it saves its own value, meaning these things have only increased in value. Gold, I'll pull up the gold chart right now. It's about to hit its all time. It just broke its all time high, drop back right now slightly below it, and it's looking like it's preparing to go right back up and hit its all time high again. And if you look at early what, 19, this chart goes back to 1971, you see, or 19, let's just go to 1975. What, gold was $200 an ounce. So I have some really mind-boggling information today that I'm going to show you guys, which is, this is the lifelong that we're looking at right now. This is the lifelong chart of Bitcoin. Look, or gold, sorry. This is the lifelong chart of gold. And as you see, over time, gold has constantly increased in value. Over time, yeah, it might have dropped here in a short what? From in a 4 year time frame, yeah, it dropped. And that might happen in a 4 year time frame. But look at its overall history. And this is what you just want to have in the back burner of your savings right now, like something like this. And it'll blow your mind when I show you the fluctuations of the dollar and how the dollar has moved since its creation and where it's went. So as you see, gold back in the 1975 was at 200. Now it's in 2020, it's over 1,700 an ounce. So that's $1,500 in what, 40 years or something like that, which is really crazy. But it's not, because that's how a real asset in your savings is supposed to operate. So if you're calling it savings, then actually save the money. But the dollar does not save your money, and I have proof of that by, I'm about to pull up this old 1972 McDonald's menu. Let's check this out. Wow, look at this stuff, guys. Quarter pounder was 70 cents. Quarter pounder with cheese was 70 cents. Quarter pounder was 60 cents. A Big Mac was 65 cents. Filet of fish, 48 cents. Large order of French fry was 46 cents. I mean, just look at these prices. And this was in 1972. So what, 28 plus 20, what, 48 years? That much inflation. How much are these things now? What is a quarter pounder now? $4 or $5. And I'm just showing you this to show you that if that dollar has not held its value, because you use the dollar to purchase things, and the things have gone up in price. So therefore, technically speaking, the dollar has depreciated in value. And I think this is like really basic economic points that a lot of people haven't gotten to pay attention to or gotten to study over time, because we're all working, we're trying to accumulate more money to get the things that we want, to do the things that we want to accomplish, which is a beautiful thing. But as you're doing those things, you don't need these bankers, these politicians, these governments ciphering in your hard-earned labor, the value of your hard-earned labor, and putting it in their back pocket or whatever they're doing, because they own gold, they own silver. And you know 14.7% of the population own physical silver, and 12% of the population own physical gold. And you can imagine that 10% of each of that category is owned by the 10% of wealth in the United States of America. Those percentages are for the United States of America. So 10% of the population probably owns, or not, the 10% of wealth probably owns silver and gold, most likely. So if you take away that whole 10%, and you had, that leaves you with 2% of normal people own gold, and 4.7% of normal people most likely own silver. And this is why that door is so wide open, because somebody owns all the gold. Somebody owns all the silver. It's not almost at its all-time high right now because nobody owns it. Okay. So those are just, simple economic concepts that used to be solidified in stone, but obviously all the money printing, the Federal Reserve printed to infinity, those things kind of change the general concept of what makes sense in by economic standards. And you see all the house prices boom and all that. So my point in this is actually to show you how not only is gold and silver and good crypto savings, it's going to save your ass in the short term, probably also, but in the long term, it's going to save your ass just having those things around. Because look at every area in the world that has increased their fiat currency the way that the United States has. It does not end good for the fiat currency. It actually ends up ending really, really bad. And we're in unprecedented times right now. So this is information I feel like a lot of people should be knowing, understanding, and starting to get involved in. And I like to call it dollar cost averaging, or like everybody likes to call it, you put in only what you can have. You don't have to have a lot of these things. I know people don't have a lot. So you don't have to have a lot of these things. You don't have to have a lot of gold. You don't have to have a lot of silver. The name of the game is having some things of value when everything, if in case everything goes down. That's what's called saving your ass. And that's why I call it savings. This is a savings strategy, not an investment strategy. I don't have enough money to be an investor. I'm not an investor. I just know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And that's all I ever chase in my life is freedom. So I mean, if you're getting what I'm pitching here, it's literally a savings for a reason. But the current, if you hold your savings in USD right now, it's guaranteed to lose. And was before all this inflation, was guaranteed to lose at least 3% in your savings account. And all the percentages I talked about in this video, you can look up yourself. I just looked them up. So I know that I'm not bullshit. I mean, everybody trusts Google. Google how many people own silver. Google how many people own gold. So that's where I'm going with this video today, because I literally feel these things will save your ass. And then lastly, here is the chart of the dollar. That's really ridiculous. The amount of purchasing power that it holds in 1971 compared to now. Look at that drastic decline. I mean, wow, I would really just love to see the percentages on this. Unfortunately, the percentages are not on the chart. I thought they were on this one, but I mean, the percent of what $100 could get you in 1971 compared to the percentage of what it can get you now would just be, off the charts. And look how much currency is in circulation now on this chart from 1971 to 2006. I mean, you're talking about what, a 900% increase or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say that it wasn't needed, but that's what happens when you have a currency that you can print at the drop of a dime. It doesn't cost the labor. Look, just think about how much more work it takes to obtain gold and silver. Like, companies have to go out and mine and get mining equipment. People die mining gold and silver. It's not even a safe event. And you're telling me that currency now all of a sudden in this new age, like, we think it can just be printed and everything's going to be okay, there's going to be a very rude awakening coming for a lot of people. Uh, you know, I'm just putting the message out there. It's not like I could even, I'm down for it not to happen. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't, hey, you know what I'm saying? But hyperinflation could very well happen. And on top of that, but the potential collapse of the banks, because they're already talking about negative interest rates. So, my friends, the millennials, the people, my generation, the people that I'm speaking to everybody, but obviously we're all gender date. That's why they have us categorized, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is what we're being hit with in today's day and time, but it's okay because the light at the end of the tunnel is our ability to adapt, our ability to have this advanced technology at our fingertips. It is really a blessing for, look, just think, like, people can still they still have the internet to communicate. We have very, very fast connections. I mean, everything is at everybody's fingertips. Now is the time to create what you were here to create, and the door is wide open for that. So a lot of good things, but get your mind right for the new monetary system, the new economic system, and make sure that you are saving your ass as well as saving the value of your hard-earned labor. And that's my message for today. This is Doc Blake with Ethereal TV, bringing to you the last piece to the puzzle. Peace.